Automotive history is full of legendary names and machines that defined eras, inspired generations, and left behind stories still told today. But in between the icons and household legends, there are also the strange experiments, the forgotten side projects, and the cars that never reached their full potential. When you dig deep into General Motors' past, you'll find vehicles that were meant to be bold answers to changing times, but instead wound up as curiosities, half-measures, or outright failures. Some of these cars were victims of circumstance, emissions laws, fuel crises, or management decisions that strangled them before they could succeed. Others were simply too unusual or ill-timed to catch on, leaving them lost in the margins of muscle car history. Today, we're going to look at 10 of the weirdest and most failed GM muscle cars, models that many enthusiasts barely remember, but each carrying a fascinating story of ambition, compromise, and design choices that set them apart. Number 10. 1977. Pontiac Can-Am. Pontiac's 1977 Can-Am was conceived as a bold move to restore the brand's reputation for high-performance cars after the GTO era faded. The model showcased rally-inspired graphics that immediately signaled speed and aggression. One of its standout features was the shaker hood scoop, mounted directly over the engine, moving with the engine's vibration and adding a visceral connection to performance. Inside, the Grand Prix-style dashboard provided a driver-focused layout with crisp instrumentation, and it came exclusively with a TH400 automatic transmission, ensuring smooth but strong power delivery. The Can-Am's exterior design was sleek yet purposeful, with its fiberglass bodywork giving it an almost futuristic feel for the late 1970s. Despite these unique attributes, production challenges quickly surfaced. The fiberglass rear spoiler mold broke during initial runs, creating costly delays and forcing Pontiac to rethink the production plan. With only 1,377 units produced, the Can-Am never reached the showroom dominance Pontiac had hoped for. Its limited production and specialized components made it a rare sight, and dealers struggled to push sales in a market that was increasingly focused on fuel economy over raw performance. Over time, the Can-Am developed a loyal following. Enthusiasts appreciated its rally-inspired details, distinctive graphics, and the bold attempt to innovate in a challenging automotive era. Collectors now actively seek the Can-Am for its rarity and the unique niche it occupies in Pontiac history. While it failed commercially during its brief production run, the Can-Am remains a testament to Pontiac's willingness to experiment with design, performance, and features that were ahead of their time. Its legacy endures as a collectible icon for those who value both rarity and the audacity of late 70s American performance cars. Number 9. 1974. Oldsmobile 442. The 1974 Oldsmobile 442 featured the colonnade styling, emphasizing long, clean hood lines, smooth roof sweeps, and sporty exterior accents. Its design communicated athleticism and precision, blending sharp character lines with sculpted panels that created a balanced, purposeful look. The car retained the 442 designation, which historically indicated high-performance capability, but the era had changed, and the label no longer carried the power it once promised. Under the hood, the engine lineup suffered due to stricter smog regulations and federal emissions standards. The once mighty V8s were detuned, resulting in horsepower figures barely surpassing 200. This reduction in power undermined the 442's muscle car heritage, leaving a visually aggressive vehicle that struggled to match its appearance with performance. Transmission choices were conventional, emphasizing drivability over outright speed, further diluting the high-performance image. Despite these compromises, the car retained some appealing features for enthusiasts. Its handling was predictable, and interior comforts included supportive seating and straightforward controls, reflecting a balance between sportiness and everyday usability. The 442's reputation had shifted from a genuine performance icon to a package that emphasized appearance over substance, with badges, stripes, and cosmetic cues signaling power more than delivering it. Collectors and historians note the 1974 442 as a transitional model, capturing a moment when muscle cars were adapting to regulations while still trying to maintain their identity. Its styling remains admired, while the gap between expectation and reality provides a striking example of how the automotive industry adjusted to changing times. The vehicle's story highlights the tension between performance branding and regulatory compliance, making it a fascinating subject for enthusiasts and a distinct marker of 1970s automotive culture. Number 8. 1976 Chevrolet Laguna S3. The 1976 Chevrolet Laguna S3 was engineered for NASCAR homologation, designed with aerodynamics in mind to compete on the racetrack. Its nose cone was sharply sloped, blending with an integrated grille that minimized drag and helped improve high-speed stability. The body featured wind-cheating lines, giving it a purposeful presence intended to optimize racing performance while retaining street legality. The Laguna S3's suspension and chassis tuning aimed to provide precise handling, making it a competent performer in corners and at moderate speeds. On the streets, however, the design created mixed reactions. Buyers accustomed to Chevelle styling found the Laguna's profile unusual and somewhat awkward, with the aerodynamic details standing out from more conventional sedans and coupes of the time. Inside, the cabin balanced comfort and utility, offering basic amenities without excess, but performance expectations often outweighed the reality. Under the hood, the engines provided adequate power for everyday driving, but enthusiasts expecting robust acceleration were often disappointed, as horsepower lagged behind the car's sporty appearance. The S3 variant holds significance for its racing heritage, rather than widespread street appeal. Chevrolet's effort to meet NASCAR requirements produced a rare vehicle that captured attention in motorsport circles but did not dominate sales charts. Its limited production numbers have contributed to its desirability among collectors today, particularly those interested in American racing history. Enthusiasts value the Laguna S3 for its role in the evolution of aerodynamics in American cars, highlighting the intersection between track-oriented design and road-going limitations. The car's legacy endures as a unique chapter in Chevrolet's performance catalog, where innovation met compromise and a racetrack-focused vision shaped a rare street presence that still fascinates automotive fans decades later. Number 7. 1974 Pontiac Le Mans GT. The 1974 Pontiac Le Mans GT introduced bold styling choices that immediately drew attention. Its most notable feature was the triangular fixed rear quarter windows, which added an angular aesthetic to the profile. While visually striking, these windows served no functional purpose, emphasizing style over practicality. The The Le Mans GT arrived during the Malaise era, a period marked by increasing regulatory restrictions and shrinking performance outputs. Engines were detuned to meet emissions requirements, and horsepower reductions left the car struggling to deliver the excitement buyers expected. Many enthusiasts anticipated a true successor to the GTO, Pontiac's legendary muscle car. Instead, the Le Mans GT offered a compromised mid-size platform, combining sporty design cues with a less aggressive powertrain. Standard engines provided modest acceleration, while the transmission options favored reliability over spirited performance. Despite these compromises, the interior offered a driver-focused layout with straightforward controls, attempting to balance comfort and style. Styling attempted to project aggression through angular body lines, recessed lighting elements, and GT-specific trim, but the performance could not match the look. Buyers quickly realized the car's exterior bravado contrasted sharply with its underwhelming engine options. This mismatch contributed to the Le Mans GT being overlooked by the muscle car crowd of the era. Over time, the Le Mans GT has gained recognition for its distinctive design, particularly the triangular quarter windows and overall 1970s styling. Collectors appreciate it as a unique example of Pontiac's efforts to adapt to regulatory pressures while trying to maintain a sporty identity. While it did not become a performance icon, the 1974 Le Mans GT remains a curious piece of automotive history, demonstrating the tension between style, market expectations, and the limitations of its era. Its legacy endures as a visually bold but mechanically restrained model that reflects a challenging period for American performance cars. Number 6. 1973 Buick Century Stage 1 Sun Coupe. The 1973 Buick Century Stage 1 Sun Coupe was a distinctive attempt to combine luxury and performance. Its most eye-catching feature was the folding sunroof integrated into the giant colonnade roofline, creating unusual proportions. The sunroof mechanism added visual drama, but increased complexity and weight. Underneath the expansive roof, the Stage 1 package sought to maintain Buick's performance reputation, with tuned V8 engines designed to deliver stronger acceleration and spirited driving. Despite the Stage 1 enhancements, the Century was a large and heavy vehicle. Its size undermined the performance potential of the engine, creating a car that could accelerate but lacked agility. The timing was particularly challenging, as the 1973 oil crisis made large, fuel-thirsty cars less appealing to buyers. Fuel economy became a growing concern, and even the Stage 1's performance-oriented marketing could not fully overcome public sentiment, shifting toward smaller, more efficient vehicles. The combination of luxury features, large dimensions, and muscle-oriented performance created a vehicle that struggled to define itself. Interior appointments were comfortable, featuring plush seating and upscale trim, while the exterior styling tried to balance elegance with sporty cues. Despite these efforts, the Century Stage 1 Sun Coupe occupied an awkward position in the market. Today, the Stage 1 Sun Coupe is remembered for its unusual mix of characteristics. It reflects Buick's attempt to blend boulevard cruising with a hint of performance ambition, resulting in a car that is neither fully muscle nor strictly luxury. Enthusiasts value its rarity and the unique approach to combining performance and comfort, making it a notable example of the challenges American automakers faced during the early 1970s. The Sun Coupe remains a curious chapter in Buick's history, embodying both ambition and compromise. Number 5. 1973 Pontiac Grand Am. The 1973 Pontiac Grand Am was an ambitious experiment aimed at merging European luxury sensibilities with American muscle car attributes. Pontiac sought to create a vehicle that offered both a refined driving experience and performance appeal. Its styling included a distinctive beaked nose and smoother body lines, conveying a sense of sophistication. Inside, it features upscale touches, including higher quality materials and a more comfortable suspension setup than typical performance-oriented models. Pontiac targeted buyers who desired comfort without sacrificing sportiness, blending a softer ride with the presence of a muscle-inspired exterior. Engine choices offered adequate performance for daily driving, but horsepower figures were moderate, reflecting the era's regulatory constraints. The vehicle's handling prioritized comfort, with suspension tuning that absorbed road imperfections and emphasized refinement over aggressive cornering. Despite the thoughtful combination, the market reception was confused. Muscle car enthusiasts found the Grand Am too plush, lacking the raw power they expected. Luxury buyers, on the other hand, were put off by the bold styling and performance-oriented cues. The car straddled two distinct markets, but satisfied neither, leaving it in a challenging position in terms of sales and appeal. The Grand Am's legacy lies in its bold attempt to redefine what a mid-size performance luxury car could be. Its design innovations and interior refinement are appreciated by collectors, particularly those interested in experimental models of the early 1970s. While it failed to achieve commercial success, the Grand Am demonstrates Pontiac's willingness to explore new concepts and stretch the boundaries of typical muscle and luxury categories. Today, it is recognized as a rare example of ambition and experimentation within the brand's portfolio, representing a unique intersection of comfort, style, and moderate performance. Number 4. 1978 Chevrolet Monte Carlo Landau. The 1978 Chevrolet Monte Carlo Landau combined personal luxury styling with sporty cues in an unusual mix. It featured opera windows, a padded vinyl roof, and refined trim aimed at buyers seeking comfort and visual flair. Yet, marketing materials emphasized performance imagery, suggesting a car that could deliver muscle car excitement. In reality, the Landau leaned toward relaxed cruising rather than raw acceleration. Under the hood, the Monte Carlo was heavy, and even its V8 engines were detuned for emissions compliance. The result was a car that moved steadily but lacked punch. Steering and suspension were tuned more for comfort than agility, making it better suited for boulevard driving than spirited cornering. The interior reflected the luxury-oriented approach, with plush seating, wood grain accents, and an emphasis on quietness and style over driver engagement. Despite the disparity between marketing and reality, Chevrolet positioned the Landau as a versatile coupe, aiming to attract buyers who wanted both presence and some level of performance. The combination of upscale features and subdued power created an odd dynamic for a model associated with sporty advertising. Over time, the Monte Carlo Landau has become recognized as a distinctive late 1970s GM personal luxury coupe. Collectors appreciate its styling, rarity of trim packages, and the balance of comfort and bold design. The opera windows and padded roof remain iconic details that define its era, while the contrast between appearance and actual performance tells a story of regulatory pressures shaping American cars. Today, it is valued as an emblem of how personal luxury and sporty aspirations coexisted in an era dominated by emission restrictions and heavier vehicles. Number 3. 1975 Oldsmobile Hearst Olds W30. The 1975 Oldsmobile Hearst Olds W30 was a collaboration between Oldsmobile and Hearst, creating a car with bold visual flair and special edition appeal. Distinctive paint schemes, unique badging, and dramatic graphics signaled the car's presence before even opening the door. Swivel bucket seats added a quirky touch, while the T-top option introduced a sporty, open-air experience rarely seen in sedate Oldsmobile models. Under the hood, however, performance numbers were limited. Engine outputs were constrained by tightening emissions regulations, leaving the W30 less potent than its appearance suggested. The car's weight combined with detuned powertrains meant acceleration was moderate, creating a mismatch between visual aggression and driving experience. Despite this, the interior and options package retained an engaging character, with specialized trim and a driver-focused layout emphasizing uniqueness over outright speed. The W30's identity leaned heavily on showmanship, using styling cues, badges, and options to create a sense of excitement. Buyers were often drawn by the spectacle of its appearance, rather than the performance under the hood. The Hearst Olds remains an example of 1970s muscle car experimentation, when automakers had to balance regulatory restrictions with the desire to maintain performance cachet. Today, the 1975 W30 is celebrated as a collector's oddity. Its rare combination of co-branding, unique options, and unconventional features make it stand out in Oldsmobile's history. Enthusiasts value the car for its daring presentation and as a snapshot of a transitional period in muscle car evolution, where style often overshadowed speed, creating a truly unique artifact of 1970s automotive culture. Number 2. 1979 Pontiac Firebird Formula 301. The 1979 Pontiac Firebird Formula 301 carried the Firebird's signature aggressive styling, projecting speed and athleticism. Body lines, front-end treatment, and subtle aero features reinforce the perception of performance potential. On the surface, the Formula seemed like a bargain alternative to the more expensive Trans Am models, appealing to buyers seeking sportiness without the price tag. Underneath, the 301 cubic inch V8 delivered modest power, especially compared to the larger Trans Am engines. Acceleration was adequate for daily driving, but lacked the punch expected from a car with a Formula nameplate. Transmission options included both manual and automatic choices, but performance was generally subdued, reflecting tightening emission standards and regulatory pressures. Handling was competent, with suspension tuned for balance, but the car's lower output limited its excitement for enthusiasts accustomed to high-performance variants. Buyers who anticipated a true muscle experience often found themselves disappointed. The Formula 301's charm lay more in styling and badge recognition than in thrilling acceleration. Its combination of aggressive design and modest performance created an identity gap, overshadowed by the more powerful Trans Am models that dominated the segment. Over time, the Formula 301 has gained recognition among collectors for its rarity and its place within the Firebird lineup. It serves as an example of Pontiac's attempt to provide multiple tiers of performance while navigating regulatory limitations. Today, enthusiasts value the Formula 301 as a transitional Firebird model, representing a period when appearance and brand identity were often prioritized over raw output, making it a noteworthy, if understated, chapter in late 1970s American performance cars. Number 1. 1975 Buick Regal Colonnade GS. The 1975 Buick Regal Colonnade GS was Buick's attempt to keep the Grand Sport GS designation alive during an era dominated by regulatory and performance restrictions. The Colonnade body style introduced larger, squared-off rooflines and reinforced pillars, providing a more rigid structure and updated styling cues. GS badging and trim indicated performance aspirations, although engine outputs were significantly reduced compared to earlier models. Under the hood, powertrains were detuned for emissions compliance, leaving acceleration modest compared to the muscle cars of the late 1960s. The suspension was softened to maintain comfort, prioritizing ride quality over sharp handling. The interior combined practical amenities with sporty touches, featuring bucket seats and trim-specific accents aimed at maintaining a performance-oriented feel despite the limitations. The combination of GS branding and Malaise-era mechanics created an identity mismatch. Fans of the original Grand Sport series expected robust performance, yet the Colonnade GS delivered primarily visual cues with limited driving excitement. Exterior styling highlighted the car's size and presence, but the driving experience reinforced its compromise between sportiness and regulatory reality. Today, the 1975 Buick Regal Colonnade GS is a rare collectible, valued for its unusual position in Buick's lineup. It represents an era when automakers struggled to maintain performance branding while complying with new emissions and safety standards. Enthusiasts appreciate it as an oddball example of the GS legacy, offering insight into the challenges of the mid-1970s automotive market, and serving as a reminder of how regulatory constraints reshaped even the most iconic muscle and performance nameplates. Its rarity and unique characteristics make it a sought-after piece for collectors interested in transitional muscle-era vehicles. The muscle car era wasn't just about winners. It was also about experiments, risks, and sometimes spectacular failures. Each of these GM cars tells part of the story of how the industry struggled through changing regulations, shifting consumer tastes, and the unpredictable challenges of the 1970s. They may not have become legends in their own time, but today they stand as fascinating snapshots of automotive history. If you enjoyed exploring these forgotten and unusual GM muscle cars, make sure to like this video, leave a comment with your favorite weird muscle car, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into overlooked corners of car history. Your support keeps these stories alive, and we've got plenty more to share.